Geraldo Rivera is live on the seawall there, shaking hands with some of the firefighters as they walk through the area. Geraldo, tell me a little bit about, we're just watching that.
Yeah.
Tell us where you are and what's going on?
Well, we're on the seawall. Look at this. I want to show you something, Martha. Look at this.
Whoa.
Still there?
I am. Are you okay? He takes a licking but keeps on ticking, this guy, folks.
Yeah, right.
Not too easy to knock down Geraldo Rivera.
For the families and friends of the fallen, this memorial will be a place of remembrance.
Instead, 9/11 has become a brand name, a Republican campaign slogan, propaganda of the lowest form. 9/11 has become 9/11 with a trademark logo.
Parents will come here to remember children who boarded Flight 77 for a field trip and never emerged from the wreckage.
We're at a hotel in Arlington, Virginia. It shows the explosion that followed the crash of American Airlines Flight 77 into the Pentagon, but the video does not show the airplane. The video's existence was disclosed in 2002. A hotel manager says it was confiscated by the FBI. It was just publicly released as the result of a lawsuit.
Husbands and wives will come here to remember spouses who left for work one morning and never returned home.
It's not up to us to prove exactly what happened, but we know that the official story is a lie, and then you go look at the evidence, and every flashing arrow points right at criminal elements of the government, from motive to capability to carry it out to the actual evidence. All right?
People from across our nation will come here to remember friends and loved ones who never had the chance to say goodbye.
And now they're saying, do what we say or the terrorists are going to hit you again. Well, look at who's saying it, and they're the terrorist.
A memorial can never replace what those of you mourning a loved one have lost.
The Pentagon Memorial is opening September 11, 2008, to honor the lives that were lost on that date 7 years ago. The privately financed Pentagon Memorial Fund has raised approximately $21 million.
We pray that you will find some comfort amid the peace of these grounds.
Depleted uranium is a very, very effective biological weapon, and it is being used to destroy the civilian population in regions that we would like to control.
We pray that you'll find strength in knowing that our nation will always grieve with you.
In 1990, the United Kingdom Atomic Energy Authority wrote a report warning about the potential health and environmental catastrophe from the use of depleted uranium weapons.
For all our citizens, this memorial will be a reminder of the resilience of the American spirit.
A warthog shoots 1.5 tons of bullets in 1 minute. That would make the number of estimated cancers as high as 9 million, depending on the amount used in the 1991 Gulf War. In the 2003 Gulf War, estimates of 2,200 tons have been given, causing about 22 million new cancers.
As we walk among the benches, we will remember there could have been many more lives lost.
Altogether, the total number of cancer patients estimated using the UKAEA data would be 25,250,000. In July 1998, the CIA estimated the population of Iraq to be approximately 24,683,313.
On a day when buildings fell, heroes rose.
Okay, we know 9/11 was a fraud.
No matter how much our inert public wants to avoid this, it's eating away. It's willful denial, willful ignorance. It's eating away at the underbelly of America. And we aren't going to solve our problems by ignoring 9/11.
Pentagon employees ran into smoke-filled corridors to guide their friends to safety.
I can record. Yes? It's a private camera. It's a private camera, though. I'm on public sidewalk.
nothing private. Just let me see what you took pictures.
Take pictures of what? This is a private browser.
You want me to take that camera, or you want to show me what you filmed?
Firefighters rushed up the stairs of the World Trade Center as the towers neared collapse.
That's what it's about, and to create this war, this endless war on terror. And that's why and that was the first lie. And the next lie was going into Iraq.
Part of the reason we went into Iraq the main reason we went into Iraq at the time was we thought he had weapons of mass destruction. It turns out he didn't.
This whole war on terror is a fraud.
Passengers aboard Flight 93 charged the cockpit and laid down their lives to spare countless others. One of the worst days in America's history. I saw some of the bravest acts in Americans' history.
How big would you say that hole was?
From my estimates, I would guess it was probably about 20 to 15 feet long and probably about 10 feet long or 10 feet wide.
What could you see on the ground, if anything, other than dirt and ash? And
you couldn't see anything. You could just see dirt, ash, and people walking around. Broken.
Wally Miller, a Somerset County coroner. It looked like somebody just dropped a bunch of metal out of the sky. In the Washington Post, it looked like someone took a scrap truck, dug a 10-foot ditch, and dumped trash into it. And as for the passengers, I stopped being coroner after about 20 minutes because there were no bodies there. In the Pittsburgh Review, I have not, to this day, seen a single drop of blood. Not a drop. It would seem that on one day, for the second time in history, an entire plane, along with its passengers, disappeared upon impact.
We'll always honor the heroes of 9/11.
Shot down the plane over Pennsylvania and attacked the Pentagon.
And here at this hallowed place, we pledge that we will never forget their sacrifice.
I see people like Bill O'Reilly on television, right? And I see how much they control the media. Like there's this girl on Bill O'Reilly the other night from an organization saying the world can't wait. And this girl was spot on. Everything she was saying was the truth. And all Bill O'Reilly could do was call her a lunatic.
This is your version of democracy. You think this is what the country should be.
They speak all the time. The voices that are not heard are the voices talking about the war crimes that are being committed in our names right now. The fact that because of the U.S. occupation of Iraq, hundreds of thousands of Iraqi people's lives have been destroyed, people have been killed, torture has been committed and legalized.
Okay, but look.
These things are not being discussed the way they
Ms.
should.
Taylor, that's your opinion, okay? And you're entitled under the Constitution to your opinion.
Those are facts.
No, they're not facts. You are a lunatic. You're a lunatic. And if you weren't a lunatic, 90% of America would agree with you. You're a lunatic.
You couldn't challenge the facts. They just call people names.
The people who actually turn off their TV and research the claims will find that 9/11 was an inside job. I mean, the stock put options on United Airlines days before the 11th, the NORAD drills, the Project for a New American Century report rebuilding America's defenses, calling for a quote-unquote new Pearl Harbor.
I mean, why do you think 9/11 happened, and then nothing's happened since then? Do you think that our security is so great here that these people who pulled off 9/11 who were able to can't knock down another plane? Come on, it's ridiculous.
We also honor those who raised their hands and made the noble decision to defend our nation in a time of war.
9/11 TM has sustained a president who long ago should have been dismissed or impeached. It has kept him and his gang of financial and constitutional crooks in office without literally any visible means of support.
When our enemies attacked the Pentagon, they pierced the rings of this building, but they could not break the resolve of the United States Armed Forces.
I said, you know, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
Since 9/11, our troops have taken the fight to the terrorists abroad, so we do not have to face them here at home.
Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail?
Thanks to the brave men and women and all those who work to keep us safe, there has not been another attack on our soil in 2,557 days.